Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 20th episode of the Trainers Lounge, the show where we talk about anything and everything about L&D. All right, this afternoon we're going to talk about training consultancy and kamusta nga ba ang lagay nito during the pandemic or what in the past few months or even the year actually. And joining us today is a very well-known talent development professional and of course one of the program managers and one of the biggest certification programs here in the Philippines. So join us and let's discuss some of the things na nangyari or changes, challenges, and ups and downs of the training consultancy industry this pandemic time. Well, without further ado, let's get to know our guest. So he is an experienced professional in learning and development, specifically in designing learning activities, curriculum, module design and development, neurolinguistic programming in learning and education, adult learning principles, mentoring and coaching and consultation. He is a certified Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt practitioner, a certified learning and development professional, TEFL and TESOL certified, and recently completed a certified senior practitioner in human resources, global equivalency and accreditation program. This is a global HR license directly awarded by CPHR CHR United Kingdom, working as the program manager of the CPHR Philippines and an approved this is an approved training organization and official member institution of CPHR CHR UK. Well, he is also the current senior partner at the talent development team of Circological Group, who is directly in charge of the overall learning and development and employee engagement solutions and the three training divisions of Circological Group. He has an adequate knowledge in HR strategy, professional practice, employee engagement, workforce planning, and talent management, health, wellness and safe workplace, human resources metrics, reporting, strategic planning, and financial management, and Lean Six Sigma methodology. Without further ado, Mr. Jester Biluan, CSPHR CLSSYB CLDP. Right, there you go. Jester, good afternoon.
Hi Kevin, good afternoon, no, and happy Wednesday to everyone.
Happy Wednesdays, and also to our viewers out there and supporters. By the way, before we move with our discussion today, don't forget to like and also follow all of our pages for more updates regarding the CLDP program and, of course, our show. And also, check out CPHR. Alam ko may maraming mga updates and news in that page. Well, Sir Chester, kamusta? How are you? How are you?
Well, I'm great, no. It's actually full of opportunities ngayong papatapos na ang ating December lunch. Sa ating finally as we get to celebrate, no, yung
Mhm.
papalapit na Pasko, no, a season of giving. So with that, I would like to greet no everyone no in advance happy holidays.
Ayan, oo nga. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Nakalimutan ko saan kanta ko nagaling yan. But yeah,
So,
a lot of things are, maraming companies ang nagpe-prepare no, for their year-end or Christmas party. Ika nga. And also wrapping up things as the year end. Well, today we're going to talk about the training consultancy industry and how what went for the industry during the pandemic times. And also, we would like to know more as well from your experience. So, well, I guess let me ask first, how did you get into training and development?
well, if I may share, no, my trip down memory lane. Actually, my course is I'm not sure if I have shared this already to our first probably second episode with you as a trainers launch.
Mhm.
No, I'm a graduate of BSIT network. No, in administration. So that's my graduate course, no. But actually, while I was still a student, no, of a certain school, no, I was actually very active, no, in terms of school activities. I was a member, a leader of various organizations, various student councils, no, even publication, even the school's, you know, selected council of student ambassadors representing the school when we introduced the school, no, to invite students to enroll, no, dito sa isang certain school. But little did I know, no, that when I was exposed to the world of training development, no, I was actually very inclined in helping students. No, those our first stakeholders and the students. I was very inclined into developing modules in terms of leadership, in terms of teamwork and collaboration, in terms of helping student leaders of the school, no, be effective, no, and be you know, be tawag dito, empowering sa kanilang mga nasasakupan. So it was very fulfilling. I was very fond of it. And then after doing those activities, no, I was with a group of people. I had an opportunity from one of my teachers back then when I was still a grade school student. No, he reached out to me and saw that I was conducting leadership training programs. And then he partnered with me. Jess, I would like to get you, know, as a speaker and help me lead the team building activity of my SSG, or the Supreme Student Government Council of a certain school. Then what I did next is I invited a couple of passionate leaders as well whom I'm working with, and then I think that's the very first time that we made this organization official. So what went then is this was not just an official organization of the school. It actually became a non-government institution, no, which is a group of passionate leaders. This is even outside of the school. And then when the school was very happy with our leadership and team building activities. From time to time, we were actually invited by neighboring schools, no, across the area. So we were invited by a school in this certain barangay, and then after that, we got another invitation from another barangay, another invitation from another barangay, and then we went outside the city, Angeles City. We were invited by Malacad City. We were invited by San Fernando City. We were also invited to Tarlac, no? So we were invited by multiple schools because of this passion we have started together with my passionate leaders. So that's the time, parang, wow, no, parang this is really fulfilling. We were able to
Oo.
help a lot of students dito sa ano, and then comes the graduation. So yun nga, graduate akong IT, no? So of course, no, kakamadali, gusto kong mag-apply na. Immediately after my graduation, I applied sa various companies, no? Of course, I applied IT roles, no, in IT positions. And I was actually very impatient because I wanted to have it done. So, dahil in-applyan. And then, there's one time that my good friend invited me, oh, di ba, Jess, ano ka, nagko-conduct ka ng activities, ng training, no? And then, di ba nagko-conduct ka din ng events? He wanted me to try the position. Sabi, ano lang to, medyo 2 days, 3 days to, matagal-tagal.
Mhm.
Try mo lang. So, sige, sabi ko, I'll try. This is a training and events coordinator role sa isang manufacturing company. So, when I tried to apply, sabi kasi dito, kailangan may 3 years of corporate experience. And I never had a corporate experience. So what I did is I tweaked my resume and included there my activities when I was still a student in facilitating, conducting learning sessions, developing team building modules, organizing events, etc. And then little did I know that the interviewer was very interested in taking me. So I was quite surprised when he application process just went into a one-day hiring process. That day immediately, I was actually caught off guard and was asked to sign the job offer already, as well as I was approved by the chief training manager, which is a Chinese from Hong Kong. And then I was quite amazed. So parang, okay, so let me think about it because I still have
Siyempre
job
biglaan
roles
eh.
open for me that tama, no? I wish to apply kasi IT ang ina-applyan ko, no? I did not really plan to apply for this role. And then sabi ko, give me 10 minutes, ma'am. Labas ako sandali, allow me to think about it. And then when I went outside, ang nangyari is that um, biglang nag-text yung company na nag-hire sa akin ng network assistant. So saktong paglabas ko, bakit naman gano'n, no? Binigyan tayo ng dilemma na mismo on the site.
Yeah.
So sabi ko 10
Parang
minutes nag-iisip
crossroads
lang ako.
eh.
Biglang nag-text. Yes, crossroads. Biglang nag-text itong company na for job offer na daw ako sa network assistant. So doon ko na nag-isip na if I chose this job, the training and development job, parang I think dito ako masaya. I do not need to force myself because I'm happy. I know I'm excellent in this area. And when kung iisipin ko naman ang network assistant, I know I can do the job, but I need to force myself to become very well knowledgeable, and I'm good at this. I'm not really happy. I do not want to drag myself every day sa work na alam kong pinupush ko lang yung sarili ko because of money. So when I chose training and development, sabi ko, it may be a pace and time pwede tayong ma-judge because graduate ka ng IT, bakit ang trabaho mo hindi IT related, di ba?
Oo.
So, I can't predict that. So, I do not care what will the people tell me and what will the people say about me na nag-graduate ako sa IT pero hindi ko siya in-apply. Sabi ko, I'm not going to consider those because I want to be happy. I want to be in the place where I'm really. So, time na tuloy-tuloy na. So, first job ko talaga is training and event. So, talagang doon na nag-start tuloy-tuloy na until to this very company kung nasaan ako ngayon.
Wow. Well, that's actually a wonderful story, no, from IT. Well, it's not commonly heard of, no, of an IT graduate to delve into training talaga na madibdiban. But I guess if passion is there, excellence comes after, di ba? So, ayun. I think it's not that planned, siguro, no, on your end, but I think it's a wonderful place where you
Correct. It's
are right
actually not
now.
planned. Yes.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
we are going to talk about training consultancy today, and basically, kamustahan siya? Kamusta siya ngayon? And you being in this business, we'd like to know first, what is the status of training
Mhm.
consultancy nowadays? Kamusta siya?
Okay, sige. Let's start first with the perspective of the providers, training providers like us. Now, indeed that we are actually experiencing unprecedented change due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Actually, the
Mhm.
economic has really a direct impact of this global health crisis. And of course, it remains to be seen, it remains to happen sa daily lives natin. But it's also clear that the buying behaviors of corporate entity functions or corporate organizations have also shifted dramatically in the past months, in the past year, and even now in the past weeks. So actually, allow me to share you a report on the corporate training market according to the Market Watch, which states that the corporate training market is thriving on account of the growing demand of opportunities created brought by the pandemic. Now, latest trends also are there, challenges, increasing disparity of skills and jobs, innovation in HR technology, and even, of course, in social media. So in the Philippines,
Mhm.
especially Metro Manila, most especially multinational companies, they really value HR, no, consultancies. They really value partnerships with training vendors, no. Unlike with certain provinces, let's say for example, when we first started exploring the market of Clark, Pampanga, they were actually quite skeptical about these services. It's because it's really not a common what they call this, a common partnership, no, na ginagawa
Mhm.
nila. Ano ba yung mga partnerships na ginagawa dito sa province is yung HMOs, no? They partner with background search, no, investigations, even
Mhm.
headhunting madalang na madalang, lalo na't na training because sa provinces like Clark, Pampanga, it's still very traditional. And it's really hard to
Mhm.
penetrate dito sa market ng Clark, Pampanga unless no you really have a good network. So,
Mhm.
but in the Philippines, no, in Metro Manila, it's being valued, especially by multinational companies. So you might be seeing multinational companies and BPOs really immersed, no? Magugulat na lang yung mga ibang tao sa Facebook na ang showcase nila, minamarket nila is the various training programs na ina-attenda ng kanilang attendees, no? So, of course, no, apart from that market, no, HR and L&D professionals are actually continuously now sourcing, no, for training providers who can help them with their organizations problems, no, help them immediate problems ng organizations. And of course, these organizations really recognize that partnering with training providers like us, no, is an
Mhm.
advantage. Why do we think it's an advantage? Now, let's say, for example, if you are with the people or employees na very tenured, most of our managers, let's say, for example, 30 years na dyan, 40 years na dyan, 20 years na dyan na nagtatrabaho, ang challenges lang niyan is not just about loyalty. No, probably it's good to have loyal employees, but the challenge there is there's no innovation. Number one, because
Mhm.
they're not exposed to new trends, as because it's a cycle already. Kaya nga ang nangyayari, there's a good healthy attrition rate. Meaning to say, it's okay to have to onboard new employees because they bring no new practices, they bring new trends, they bring new tawag dito, knowledge, no, fresh knowledge coming from various companies they have worked with. So it's really good to recognize, no, to partner with external vendors because these trainers, these facilitators, these consultants have a very excellent background, which is highly flexible, which is highly innovative because they've worked with multiple organizations. They've worked with not just local but global or multinational organizations. That is why, according to the
Mhm.
research, high-performing organizations are 30% most likely to use external vendors for training delivery and 80% more likely to use partners for portfolio management according to training industry. And right now, dito sa ating market currently, they are beginning to understand the importance of training outsourcing. So, yun yung ano yun yung mga naging market ngayon sa trade.
Mm, I see. Well, yeah, I think napakalaki nga naman ng difference when it comes to the delivery and the market itself. No? A lot of
Mhm.
people or a lot of companies had to go home and think of figure out a way how to you can proceed with their operations. Di ba? But I would also like to ask then, no, when the change happened back in 2019, 20 ba yun? Nung nag-start na tayo mag-shift into this new normal. Was it something
Mhm.
that you foresaw? Because I believe you were already doing a training consultancy before the pandemic hit, di ba?
Correct.
Yan. Was it
Okay.
something na nakita mo na mag-change siya into virtual, mag-change siya into remote, things like that?
Mhm. Okay, sige. So allow me to share about the buyer behaviors and the market pre-COVID and during the COVID. Now, pre-COVID, of
During
course, the market is more inclined into having all sessions face to face, no,
Mm-hmm.
having all sessions na exclusive in-house training, attending public learning sessions na ino-organize ng mga various training vendors sa iba't ibang places and locations. Well, frankly speaking, just like everybody else, no, I never saw this coming. No, we never saw this coming. Now, who knows that a global health crisis can shift
Sabagay.
dramatically and shake the world of the corporate training market, di ba? So, uh,
Biglaan eh.
correct. It was really a drastic change, no? In the first few months, no, when we were in the pandemic era na, let's say, sabi kasi nila according to the data, the pandemic, no, started September to December. So January, February, gradually nagbe-break out na yan. We still held, no, two successful classroom nung January and nitong Feb. January medyo may fear na eh. And then nung
Mm.
nag-Feb run kami sa Manila, medyo takot na yung mga tao kasi when we went to Manila, most of the commuters are wearing face masks already and we were not wearing. Paminsan nagwe-wear kami depende kapag compressed area na. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the participants arrived, some probably 10% of the participants were wearing face masks. And the other participants were actually quite alarmed kasi they do not know what to feel eh. Will they get scared because they're wearing face masks or it's like a question of them na parang kailangan nga talaga ng face mask. So beforehand, what I did is I talked to the venue no to please prepare for tawag dito alcohols no na ma-place or sanitize
Sanitation.
for
Mm-hmm.
sanitation, no? Para at least mawala yung fear. Else, no, they will pull out from the run and magre-refund na lang kasi takot na eh. So we wanted still to make them feel that they're still safe and that we can still accommodate classroom-led session ng February. Little did we know that the coming next month, nag-lockdown, di ba? March 2020, nag-lockdown na. So that's the time when the corporate training no providers no was shaken no little construct corporate vendors as to how we can move forward with the current crisis. As we all know, ang ano ba ang nangyayari no in the few months na sabi nga natin, we were very scared that we won't have no any clients, most especially that some of the players, not to mention big players, were
Mm-hmm.
affected by the crisis. So the organizations went to downsizing. No, some unfortunately even had to close down their business because they were not really designed to withstand no a crisis like this. But while observing the global market because I wanted to benchmark and want to be still competitive and have an avenue to present opportunities. No,
Mm-hmm.
even though we didn't have the market no in the Philippines, what I did is we have created an effective business continuity plan. Now with this business continuity plan, this outlines no yung tawag dito, how we can continue the operations no, during a disruption like this. No? So we did back-to-back strategic planning activities as well to no to other stakeholders, no, not just internally. We did strategic planning even with external stakeholders as well, no, to ensure that we understand the corporate training market, no, the world we live in today, and of course, what will be the long-term effects this crisis may bring. So ayun, yun yung then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess naman no, I guess back then, pre-pandemic, nagkakaroon naman din talaga tayo ng idea when it comes to online learning, virtual, or yun nga, online classes. But we weren't really ready na biglaan every operations would go, not go away, pero change into something new. And yeah, I
Mhm.
guess I can relate on what you have said. Planning is always there. No, planning for your strategy, how to cope up with it is a good way to back then, no, at the start. Hopefully, sa mga other companies as well, Jen, or sa mga other training consultancies as well, or L&D professionals, I hope no nakapag-plan sila agad back then para nakapag-adjust agad din. Well, in the market naman, you mentioned some of the market or some of the consumer trends. So, since medyo lumuluwag na eh, I wouldn't say it's safe
Okay.
already. I wouldn't say it's
Nasa
safe
recovery
already.
na, no?
But yeah, we are now gradually, medyo matagal, but we're now gradually getting back into the new normal, the old normal. Uh, has learner preference and started to change as well. Like meron na ba
Okay.
nagre-request ng ano ng how face to face or still
Mm,
takot pa rin ng mga tao?
okay. Sige. So, allow me first to discover two areas. Let's
Mhm.
start first with the educational system. Now, the pandemic crisis, definitely changed, the learning or even the educational system in the Philippines, much like it is globally, of course. No? Up
Mhm.
until now, the academic world has started implementing learning delivery modalities, that schools can adapt, no, depending on the restrictions, of course, may it be in synchronous learning or asynchronous learning. Or in layman's term or sa ating industry, we call it um, blended learning or
Uh-huh.
distant learning or self-paced learning.
Mhm.
Now, let's go into the industry. So allow me to give you a short trip down memory lane. So traveling back to the beginning of the blended learning, it was actually discovered in the year 1840s. No? Napakatagal na pala ng blended learning, 1840s
Mhm.
pa pala. So doon nagsimula yung short distance course na nangyari na snail mail, exchanges kung saan previously yung mga lecturers, ay nakikipag-exchange, sa students ng learning. The facilitator will pass learning materials, via snail mail sa kanilang students, and then the students will in return, provide answers. No? So yun yung ano yun yung doon nag-start yung blended learning. So doon na nag-shift unti-unti yung preference, na
Mhm.
nagkaroon sila ng preference pala years back na pwede kang distance learning or yung traditional na face-to-face learning, Then comes 1970s to 1980s kung saan nag-start na yung TV-based technology to support live training. So at this age, companies actually began using video networks to train their employees. No, they no longer need, and had to be physically on site in order to onboard new hires or building the skills, of existing staff, or members. Questions, of course, still, were sent via snail mail, but they find it very engaging. Now, jump tayo sa 1980s to 1990s. Dito na ika CD-ROMs, yung mga CD nila sinasaksak na. And actually, that's evident. Now, CD-ROMs, previously delivered more interactive learning experiences such as those that feature video and sound. If you
Mhm.
can remember, especially sa mga anak ninyo na 90s babies, or probably yung mga viewers natin na millennials, probably they can still remember yung Encarta, Microsoft Encarta na CD
Ah,
na
yes, yes.
parang encyclopedia. Pwede ka magkaroon ng
Yeah, yeah.
selection doon, matututo ka. It's very interactive, na
Doesn't
parang
need
sabi nila, ang
internet, alam ko
social-social
eh.
na. Oo, oo, correct. No, yung mga CD-ROMs nun na may options ka na chapter 1,
Oh my
chapter
God,
2.
tagal na nun.
So, ang tagal na nun. So, nag-start na pala yung blended learning way back noon. No? We
Mhm.
were just not aware, no? So, and then, nag-start na rin even yung yung LMS or yung learning management system. It
Ah,
was
yes, yes.
introduced in the late 90s, no? 1990s nga. So nung na-introduce yung LMS, of course, they didn't offer, of course, same functionality as the solutions available today. Because of course they wanted to be able to track learners' progress within the CD-ROM network. So then comes 1998, the first generation of web-based, web-based technology or web-based training. So nung nag-start na yung web-based instruction noong 1998, of course, computers were no longer just for organizations. Previously kasi, nung unang panahon, pagka may computer ka, parang pang company lang to. But when dumating na tayo sa 1998, it was actually becoming parang an essential part of the household. So nung 1998, this is where the first generation of web-based interaction, computers were no longer just for organizations or the wealthy few, but of course for the masses. So more and more households actually began purchasing personal computers to their families, no, na ma-enjoy na. So providers then began to give virtually everyone an access to internet learning resources through amiable sound, no, coming from our dial-up connections. So dati nakakapag-research na tayo sa internet, no, na gamit ang dial-up connection sa may maingay na tut 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 tut, mga gano'n, no? And then yung mga sound yung very familiar sa atin, pero nagba-browse tayo nun ng Wikipedia. So
Yeah.
nagkakaroon na ng self-paced learning, web-based instruction. And then of course, the 2000s kung saan this is actually became the exciting time for blended learning, which is rapidly changed, no? Has changed back then. So now that, of course, we know the history of blended learning, now my challenge now is why not use it to transform, no, the learning of our organizations into an interactive one, engaging learning experience. No? But yun nga, I'm telling you, as of late, no, even this very year, November and not November 2021, no, there are still some organizations that do not wish to change their learning preference. No, they still wish to have everything na instructor-led. No, instructor-led is still their preferred delivery method for many learners. Kaya gusto nila on-site talaga. They wanted to wait for the pandemic, no, na sige, try namin mag-wait ng pandemic, wait na lang kami. Tapos gusto kasi namin talaga instructor-led on-site. Pero because of the challenges, parang hirap na. But, of course, no, organizations, especially multinational companies, have opened their doors. Previously, matagal na nilang in-open doors nung nag-aaral pa ako ng training development. Matagal na. Pero sa Philippines, Manila lang, multinational companies and BPO lang nag-open sa self-paced, no, sa blended learning, sa webinars. And then, this pandemic, every organization were forced to study online. We're forced to have their learning online or virtually. So it did change, really. It did really change, no, sa learning preference, especially that most leaders are very busy with the crisis, no, as to how they can move forward. So gusto na lang nila self-paced. Ngayon, sa market, nag-start na yung mga online certification programs, no? Start na yung mga self-paced na mga certification programs as well. Way back before the pandemic, walang gaanong maingay certification program sa Manila, sa Philippines. But when the pandemic happened, when slowly certification programs were successful, a lot of organizations began to offer certification programs as well because the market is more used to attending 2-day learning sessions, 3-day learning sessions na certificate of completion lang, or attending MBA, attending doctorate degree or diploma courses. Pero nag-emerge na yung certification program. It really changed not just the market, but even with the learning preference.
Ayan. So yeah, there have been a lot of forms kind of man when it comes to instruction delivery. But I guess no, with the industry itself, hindi natin siguro maalis din yung need for an instructor led.
Correct.
Maybe let's say it's tradition, no? It's something that we've been doing for a long time, and you can't just change something, eh. And I believe yes, some of the companies had to stick with what they know. Uh, they're a bit shy pa. They're a bit shy pa when it comes to trying out or partnering rather with training consultancy groups or companies and delegating their training needs to them. But I guess no, with what happened for the past 2 years, hindi tayo babalik purely na with the instructor led. I think people have experienced na no na or na try na nila this remote type of instruction. They have experienced partnering with training consultancy groups and companies, and I guess it's here to stay. And that's just my prediction. No?
Correct.
Na hindi tayo babalik na, ay hindi, okay, wala nang pandemic. Balik na tayo sa instructor-led. Huwag na tayong tumawag sa mga training consultancy.
Mhm.
Huwag na tayong mag-outsource na training needs natin. So, I guess it's a good thing, no, for our industry na there are now more channels where we can share our expertise, where we can develop more people and more companies into growing their professional skills. Ayan.
Right.
Now, I would also like to ask, no, nung kayo or
Mhm.
during this unprecedented global event ba
Mhm.
or event or disaster, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
what are the changes na inadapt niyo agad in your operation?
Okay. So, as shared a while ago, no, we did back-to-back strategic planning
Mm-hmm.
with internally and externally with other parts of with other stakeholders. We benchmark from global institutions. So even when nag-pause yung mga ibang training industries, no, we were actually very proactive. What we did is even kahit wala pang market sa distant learning, no, we actually took the challenge of transitioning our programs virtually. Nung nag-run kami sa certification program, this was way back 2020 of probably I think June
Mm-hmm.
2020. No,
June.
way back kasi when our accrediting body told us na this certification program is supposedly kailangan ano to on-site or
On
online learning. We
site.
have exposed our member institutions then sa area nila sa iba't ibang countries na member institutions na nag-pause din sila, hindi na sila nagko-conduct ng
Face to face.
ng face to face. But ako, sabi ko I took the challenge no of transitioning this online. So we requested for an approval sa CPHR United Kingdom to transition the traditional classroom-led session sa virtual learning or sa distant learning. So it was actually a very big challenge because we were afraid of participants patronizing the opportunity of attending virtual learning session.
Oo.
Baka hindi yata to maging effective, baka maraming errors, baka ang daming mga what ifs and baka. So we took the risk and we offered it in the public. But little did we know, no, as we were actually exploring the distance learning, parang experimental stage itong batch 1 nung distant learning eh.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually unaware of what will the circumstances be, the feedback of the participants be. But little did we know, and that the participants were very happy na dito sa distance learning kasi sabi nila parang wala naman tayo virtually parang nasa on-site pa rin tayo because we encourage participation and interactiveness no. So the
But
learning
well, singit ko lang. But you were
uh,
able to conduct CPHR before on a classroom setting, di ba?
Yes, actually,
Mm.
originally the certification program is originally designed for classroom learning.
Mm.
So
Ayun.
we took the
Tapos
risk.
transition to virtual nga naman. I
Correct.
see.
Nag-request kami ng approval. I'm not sure if we were the first country na mag-conduct ng CPHR online. Kasi hindi sila, nag-stop sila eh. So
Ah.
when the day 2 happened, no, we asked the feedback of the participants. How was the learning? Sabi namin.
Mm.
And then the participants were actually very happy because number 1, we were able to accommodate participants, no, aspirants na napakalayo ng lugar. They do not need to travel sa
Oh,
Manila kasi yung public runs namin sa Clark, Pampanga, tsaka sa Manila pa lang. So hindi namin na-accommodate yung Visayas, hindi namin na-accommodate
Visayas.
yung Mindanao,
Mindanao. True.
hindi namin na-accommodate yung even OFW sa Asia, no? Hindi namin na-accommodate. So they were very happy because they were given opportunity. Secondly, they were happy because they do not find the distant learning different, no? They find sa on-site learning. So when we introduced it now on a monthly basis, it was being uh, the numbers were growing we were able to conduct this on a monthly basis. So it was being supported, no? So it's really about you, no, being an advocate as well. It's not just you providing training, no, para kumita ang business, but you being an advocate of blended learning, you being an advocate of trying the virtual world of training. So it's really about the communication. It's really mind blowing that we were able to have a successful programs amidst the lockdown from March to March, April,
Mm-hmm.
May, June. No, very mind blowing.
I see. Wow. Uh, I guess no nung during that time sanay pa nga yung mga tao with face to face and transition. But were there actually any doubts? I
Hmm.
guess meron no? Were there
A
any
lot.
doubts from the market na this would work? Did you receive feedback, something like that? Or hindi na kayo nag-conduct ng what do you call this, na parang test? Talagang
Hmm.
you
Mismo
experimented
na.
with it. Oo. What happened there? What was the reasoning behind it?
Well, actually, it was raining, no doubts. It was raining questions, no. Let's start with the certification programs. Yun nga, ayaw nila mag-join ng certification program because they wanted,
Face to
excuse me, to
face.
have it on-site, no? Yun yung mga
Mm-hmm.
doubts, no, na matututo ba kami, kamusta yung network namin, etc. Now, let's move towards the in-house training. Exclusive in-house training, especially clients, no? When we introduce again the training services of the company to them, sabi nila, we're not sure, baka we do not want to take risk in transitioning our training plans, no, from on-site to distant learning, especially ngayong pandemic. We wanted to try, sabi nila, either i-stop na lang namin itong training and then mag-focus kami sa employee benefits ngayon, no? Or magte-take risk kami ng negosyo para sayang naman investment namin as clients. So yun yung mga fears, no? So but we were actually successful sa ibang clients na from hesitant to being signed partners or close clients, no? We were able to communicate, we were able to break down the fear that the training will still be effective, that the training will
Mm-hmm.
still be interactive, and still, no, the participants can still learn. So, talagang hindi kami providers lang. We were really advocates, no? We really communicated the opportunities of other learning modalities. So I guess that's the challenge I want to bring, no, to other providers, to other training professionals as well, to open their arms, no, sa virtual world of learning because it's still effective. It's just different.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Jester.
Hi. Yeah.
Ay, naglag ata sa end ko. Ayun.
Okay. Ayan.
Kaya pala
Yeah,
sabi ko
yeah.
parang, oh, yeah, sorry for that. I see, alright. Well, we don't know what will happen next. Eh, no? It's kind of scary pa rin at this moment, kahit na lumuluwang na. We're still not sure
Correct.
when will it end, what will happen, or do we still have the chance to go back to the normal that we were used to? And
Mm.
this leads to my final question, no, for this topic. If by any chance we get to go back to our previous way of doing things pre-pandemic, do you think you will go back as well to the previous style of operation, or will you be keeping this one?
Okay. So, okay, let's talk about the changes, no? For example, natapos na ang COVID situation, no? Everyone is free to go anywhere. They can go into public places. We can even conduct public learning sessions, no, in public. But will we stop doing virtual learning sessions? I guess not. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
we have provided an extended avenue for learners to still participate and still benefit from our services. We can cater to remote locations such as Mindanao, Visayas, no, who is actually deprived of learning opportunities because very few lang ang mga training vendors sa mga area na Philippine Insights and Mindanao. So we're still going to extend our, in terms of virtual learning, but we will still also offer classroom-led sessions because yun ang nami-miss nila eh. Yung
Oo.
conversations during the lunchtime, unlimited overflowing coffees. So
Oo nga,
we
oo.
will both offer virtual learning and on-site learning. So ayan, maaabangan nyo pa rin no, yung aming services both on-site and online.
Ayun. So it's a combination of both. Well, it's a for me it's a bright future, in terms of training consultancy, because now people got to taste the benefits of well, having a partner for their training needs, or having a remote event for their training needs. And at the same time, if things
Mhm.
go well with our situation, I guess we can still do face to face. I mean, there's nothing wrong with face to face din naman.
Right.
It has its own perks, it has its own
Correct.
advantages to offer for our learners. But
Mhm.
I guess what we can expect in this industry, especially training consultancy, is that we have more channels now. Ayun, we have more channels now
Correct.
uh, to develop our skills, or our employees' development, and also professional skills. No? And even yung uh,
Mhm.
ano tawag dito, their wellness. And also, syempre, importante, hindi lang puro skills, but also their wellness and mental health and physical health. All right. Well,
Correct.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Jester, for sharing your experiences during this tough times for the past few years. Wow, years na nga. Oo nga. It's been magiging years na yan.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
sa ating mga viewers, sa ating mga training consultancy professionals, or even L&D professionals, no, kapit lang, a lot of innovations have been discovered in the past few months. Ika nga, when there's a need, there will be a way na to find out, or to figure out how to overcome it. And I hope, no, sa ating mga viewers as well, they were able to learn or get some insights from Mr. Chester and their experience and how they handled and how they pursued, or how they developed their training consultancy services. And Sir Jester, before we end, I believe meron kang i-share sa amin today.
Ayan, sige. So allow us to share the screen, no? So we're actually inviting all professionals, not just HR professionals, but L&D professionals, no, to join us, no, dito sa upcoming 4th Philippine HR Assembly. Now, this event is actually a free for all event, no, with the theme Transcendence, the HR Pathways to Sustainability and Beyond. Now, we are actually showing you the list of speakers, no, joining us next week actually dito sa ating 4th Philippine HR Assembly. Now, if you wish to have an exclusive access no to our rewards, no, for paid registrants, no, you will actually be benefiting from the over 450,000 worth of raffle prizes and freebies and gift checks, no, for even for the first 300 registrants, no, subject to terms, no. So we are inviting everyone and everybody to join us, no, dito sa ating 4th Philippine HR Assembly. So for more details about this event and program, please feel free to visit our Facebook page, CPHR Philippines, or visit our website at www.philhrassembly.com. So yun nga, feel free to message us anytime, no, for inquiries. No? Probably the body will be typing in the website for more details. I think nandito na siya.
Siguro I'll ask some
Yun.
frequently asked questions, no?
Mhm.
Is this for free? Ayan.
Yes. Oo. So, ayan mo ka na-share na yung website. Ayan, www.philhrassembly.com. This is a free event. No? So, this is a free event. Pero yun nga, if you want to get rewards, no, and raffle prizes, so there's a paid registration there. Very, very affordable. I think 999 lang or 1,000. So
Oh,
yun lang.
ayun.
You will also earn this for CPHR professionals. So yun, no, please do join our event next week.
All right, so Transcendence, the theme for the fourth Philippine HR Assembly. Wow, ito nga tinitingnan ko yung mga list of guest speakers natin and
Ito
also
may guest speakers din
panelists.
sa
Ah,
DOH.
meron din siyang, I think this is something new. This is something that I missed last PHRA, the third PHRA. Walang panel
Mhm.
discussion. So this time, inad
Mhm.
natin ang panel discussion. Wow, all right. So yun,
Correct.
inviting everyone up, whether you're an HR professional or in the corporate world or someone who's interested into developing their professional skills, head on to CPHR Philippines Facebook page or the website www.philhrassembly.com to learn more and how you can join us in this wonderful event. So this is the fourth one now. Wow, it's been a while nung nakinig ako sa third Philippine HR Assembly and looking forward to the new list of
Mhm.
guests and panelists for the fourth Philippine HR Assembly. Ayan. Well, thank you so much, Sir
Right.
Jester. And wow, I guess let's all hope for the better. No, nothing is uncertain in this world. Sobrang laki ng changes, and with the sudden change that we experienced, thank you so much for sharing with us how you were able to cope up with it, and of course, share some tips sa ating mga fellow L&D professionals. Ayan.
Mhm. Thank you
All right,
everyone,
so
and of course 'no, iniwan ko ulit yung shade sa inyo 'no. Take, challenges as opportunities. So with that, thank you very much.
all right. Hope to see you or hope to have you again in this show, pa, Sir Jester. And that was Mr. Jester Biluan. Wow. It was hard, no? Last 2019, it's about to be 2 years now when the world was introduced with this catastrophe or this unprecedented happening in our world. And the L&D industry had to go through a lot, had to change a lot of its ways, ika nga, to still continue developing professionals and workers and their skills and their well-being inside and outside the company. But I guess no challenges are there for us to grow, and if we if we don't face it, if we don't find a way to get over it, to be better at it, mag-stuck lang tayo. Nothing will happen. So I guess keep on striving, and I still believe that things will be well and we'll go back to where it was. But this time we have learned how to adapt better na, diba? We're now introduced to other ways or other channels of developing other people, whether they're in the entry level or in the higher spectrum of the professional chain. But again, as I mentioned, let's just hope for the better and keep on striving for excellence. Well, that has been the 20th episode of the Trainers Lounge. See you again next time here at the show where we talk about anything and everything about L&D. This is the Trainers Lounge. I'm Ken. See you next time.